Hey everybody, I'm going to talk a little bit about the next assignment. This is considered the conclusions for the project, even though you guys haven't done your actual final indirect measurement assignment yet. That'll be coming probably after vacation. But right now, what I want to talk about is the writing the analysis for the project. Okay, now, because because of our situation, you don't have the opportunity to actually go out and measure the steeple, and you are going to be measuring stuff, whatever you can find to measure in your own world, but I'm going to give you right now data from another group. In other words, another ninth grade class. Now, under normal circumstances, you would not be doing individual projects, you'd be doing group projects, typically 3 students to a group. So these results here are based on the groups that the students were in, and each of them is, like here, group 1 is the group that made the device, and the data provided here is the data that group 1 generated when they used their device. Okay, and the same for group 2 and group 3 and so on. Now this was from block A, if I remember right. I believe that's block A. Yeah, that's block A of this class, of this ninth grade class, right? And down here, as we scroll down, block B and C and D and so on, right? And you may have to, scroll to the right a little bit to get all the data from the different groups, okay? You're going to copy this data. Do not make any changes to this shared part of the shared document, okay? Now, also, very important, is to find the proper tab. At the bottom here, right, we have other tabs, particularly from the indirect, the tower project we already did, and so on, right? But if you find this tab right here, data from a previous year, that's the tab you want to click on in our shared document to find this information, okay? And copy these figures, or make a copy of this sheet for your own use, right? You're going to make a copy of this sheet because you're going to be expected to do some work on this information, okay? Work using this information, and I don't want you messing up this copy of the data. I don't want you, and not messing it up, but I don't want you inserting formulas. I don't want you changing it around. Any of the stuff that you would normally do in a spreadsheet in order to do your analysis, right? So instead, you're going to copy this stuff from this page, put it in your own document, your own copy of the document, and from there you can make formulas and charts and graphs, whatever you need, whatever will help you to do the analysis. Okay? Okay, let's take a look now at the analysis assignment. Okay? If I can find it here. This is the one I want. Called Conclusions and Analysis. Okay? Now, like I said, normally you would be analyzing your own data, your own group's data, and the data from your class. We know you're not able to do that, and so you're going to have to do your best job possible on this assignment based on just your own experience trying to do the measurement and based on the results that you see from this other group. Okay? So here it says conclusions and analysis and so on. I have this assignment, this document posted in your my MCPS classroom assignment. Okay? So the first thing is to compile all the data into a spreadsheet, right? Next, you're going to do a box plot of the entire grade, a box plot of the data. And we'll talk about this in class a little bit, but there are online tools where you can, move that data into the online tool and have it generate a box plot for you. I'd rather you do that than try to just draw the box plot yourself. Okay? Now, in your box plot, be sure that it's got all the the values of the quartiles, right? So first quartile, third quartile, median, upper limit, lower limit, that kind of stuff. Okay? Make sure you're telling me about that in the process of displaying that box plot in your assignment. Okay? Now you're going to start out by doing analysis of just what you see. There's so many pieces of data. The highest one is this, the lowest one is that, so on and so forth. And any kind of trends you can observe in that data. There should be some trends in the data. You should be able to see, a lot of values around here, a lot of values around there, and so on, beyond just telling me what the median and quartiles are, right? Okay. Also outliers. There probably are some outliers in the data, I don't know. But there are a few different versions of how you define an outlier. And some of those versions include mild outliers versus extreme outliers and all this other kind of stuff. Whatever definition you're going to choose to use, you should explain that. Give a brief, couple sentences explaining what definition of outliers you're talking about. Because sometimes outliers are based on relationships to the median and the quartiles, interquartile range. Some of the definitions of outliers are based on standard deviation. Okay, so you need to decide what definition you're using and describe that in your discussion. Okay, finally then, assume the median of the data is the correct answer. We don't know the correct answer. Even if I knew it, I wouldn't tell you what it is. This is based on a scientific inquiry. In novel research, you don't have the answer to fall back on and compare your results to. So we're going to assume the median of the data. So you're going to find the median value and say, oh, that's the correct value. Now how do these pieces of data compare to it? Okay? So that's a thing to do that. So look for trends in the data and see what kind of error. There should be some error. I wouldn't be surprised. Percent error, average percent error, and so on, right? Comparing it to the median of the data as if that was the correct answer. And finally then, I'd like you to talk about why it may not be perfect. Gee, everybody didn't get a perfect answer. Big surprise. What is likely to have caused that? Why would those values be what they are? Why would they vary widely? Why would there be outliers? All this kind of stuff. What kind of things might have gone wrong in the measurement process to cause errors? Okay? And of course, things here, you're going to write well. You're going to use good quality writing, full sentences and paragraphs, and so on, right? 12-point Times New Roman, standard 1-inch margins, double spacing, at least 1.5 full pages of text. I didn't put this here, but I would suggest if you go over 2 pages of text, there should be a really good reason for it. Okay, you should be able to do this, I think, in in that 1.5 to 2 page range. Okay, all right. So we know about where to find the data, how to copy that data to your own document. From there, you can use your own spreadsheet to do this analysis and formulate these values and information without changing the shared document. Okay? Great.